From the Illuminati to idiocy, conspiracy theories are always popular. But you know what? Sometimes the tinfoil hat people are right. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 TV conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. 25. Quiz Show. Herb Stempel was reigning champion on the quiz show 21 back in the 50s. What viewers didn't know was that the program was rigged, and Stempel knew the answers in advance. Unfortunately for him, his sweet ride didn't last forever. When producers recruited the charismatic player Charles Van Doren for the game, Stempel was asked to take a dive in favor of a new champion. He agreed, but it was only a matter of time before the cover was blown on the conspiracy. A congressional committee helped expose the truth, and TV was never the same again. You may remember the movie about this story from 1994, Quiz Show. Ralph Fiennes starred as Van Doren and John Turturro played Stempel. 24. Ellen's puppy episode. So, what was the deal with Ellen's puppy? There wasn't one. The actual storyline of Ellen's The Puppy episode focused on the main character acknowledging her sexuality, so the producers were part of the conspiracy. Back in 1997, this was a big deal and confirmed the rumors about her private life. It's fascinating and a little weird to read the Peabody Award website's commentary on the episode at the time. They stated that by giving the episode an award, they were, quote, neither endorsing the sexuality of Miss DeGeneres nor taking sides in the debate on how these issues were presented in the media. 23. Survivor Shocker. It's one of the most grueling reality shows on television. However, is Survivor as tough as it looks? Probably not, according to some reports. There are stories of body doubles and contestants being given time to work out strategies before they film the challenges. With various rumors out there, what is the actual truth? Survivor appears to be a mix of both reality and fiction. The competitors have a rough time, yet producers manufacture what happens to them to a certain extent. 22. There's something about Susan. When the character of Susan was killed off on Seinfeld, viewers were shocked. Her sudden exit at the end of season 7 was bizarre and hilarious. As you may recall, she died after licking the toxic glue on cheap wedding invitation envelopes. Why did she leave? Well, it wasn't her decision. Naturally, there were conspiracy theories about the situation, which culminated with actress Heidi Swedberg discovering she was let go due to a supposed lack of chemistry with the cast. Seinfeld's Jason Alexander, who revealed the information in an interview, would go on to make a public apology to Swedberg over the move. 21. The Upside Down. Stranger Things is one of Netflix's biggest hits, and one of the reasons for that is its complex backstory. Back when it started, however, not much was known about the characters and their connections to the crazy events of the series. Fans figured the superpowers displayed by Millie Bobby Brown's character Eleven were linked to the freaky parallel world of the Upside Down. To their excitement, their theories were proved correct as the show went on. 20. John Amos disappears. The good times ended for actor John Amos when he left the sitcom of the same name in the mid-70s. He'd been a much-loved character, having originated the role in comedy series Maude. Family man James Evans was killed off in a car accident. So far, so unfunny. It certainly wasn't a joke to Amos, who, contrary to official reports, was fired for complaining about the creative team's approach to depicting African Americans. Yikes. 19. Cash Cab exposed. Cash Cab is an attention-grabbing concept for a game show. Is it genuine? Well, kinda. The central idea of a passenger taking a taxi ride only to find themselves in the middle of a TV quiz isn't all that it seems. Some of the writers are real fares, whilst others are aware they're going to be on a show. Just not this one. Also, if you've ever wondered about the money they win, it's fake. Plus, they have to tax the amount the contestants receive. 18. Depressed. Michael Larson is either a sneak or a genius, depending on how you look at it. He won over $100,000 on the game show Press Your Luck in 1984. What was his secret? He definitely had one, and as it turned out, the conspiracy theorists in the audience were proved right. Larson analyzed the workings of the show's game board, finding he could accurately predict the outcome. It was a sneaky, but perfectly legitimate way of beating the board at its own game. 17. The Major and the Millionaire. Viewers of the UK game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 2001 might have noticed the sound of coughing in the audience.
Google.
Interestingly, this coughing came from spectator Diana Ingram, who just so happened to be married to the guy answering questions that night. Major Charles Ingram famously deceived producers by having Diana cough when the right answer came up. Also taking the part in the conspiracy was contestant Tequin Whittock, who coughed his way to notoriety. Major Ingram won the £1 million, but the plot was later exposed. 16. Pawns in a game. TV show Pawn Stars has kept audiences entertained for years, but are producers selling the audiences a lie? No, it's all pretty real, though the action you see on screen isn't exactly spontaneous. To guarantee a good show, certain elements have to be in place beforehand, otherwise you might be stuck with a boring guest or a less than compelling collectible. One of the biggest surprises about Pawn Stars is the Las Vegas shop itself. They actually filmed sections of the reality series on a set. 15. Dempsey's departure. Some fans of Grey's Anatomy think the show hasn't been the same since Patrick Dempsey left. The chiseled heartthrob played the role of Dr. Derek Shepard, who was tragically killed in a car crash in season 11. Whenever a popular star exits a hit series, there are conspiracy theories concerning what happened. According to the behind-the-scenes book, How to Save a Life, Dempsey was causing trouble on the set, clashing with creator Shonda Rhimes and allegedly giving team members PTSD with his behavior. 14. Pre-hunted houses. The house hunter couples bought their house before the show was filmed? This wild conspiracy theory turned out to be built on solid foundations. In fact, the information supporting these theories came straight from the people who worked on the show. So, next time you're watching those lucky people working out which property to buy, remember that they're probably faking it. 13. DeMunn and Darabont vs. The Walking Dead. Actor Jeffrey DeMunn wasn't the longest surviving cast member of The Walking Dead. In fact, he lasted just 2 seasons out of the 11 which were finally produced. DeMunn's exit from the series sparked conspiracy theories due to the fact that his character seemed to have more to give. Showrunner Frank Darabont had left on bad terms, and naturally people figured that was a factor behind DeMunn's decision because they'd worked together previously. It took a while for DeMunn to reveal exactly why he went, and sure enough, it turned out he was showing solidarity with his colleague. 12. Concerns about Cosby. The Cosby Show, one of the most iconic sitcoms in US TV history, suffered a major blow to its image when Bill Cosby was convicted of sexual assault in 2018. The show itself had finished in 1992, though the stories about Cosby were nothing new. Allegations against the comedian and actor were made back in 2005. Cosby has denied any wrongdoing, though he has admitted using sedatives on women. His legal team had the conviction overturned in 2021, but the controversy surrounding him continues. This means the conspiracy theories about him will also continue. 11. Fans and fungus. The Last of Us may be an acclaimed TV series, but it's also an iconic game. This can lead to gaps in people's knowledge, because games don't always provide the level of detail regarding story that TV dramas do. HBO's version of The Last of Us revealed that Ellie was immune to the devastating infection due to her mother being bit with the cordyceps fungus before she was born. This gave a reasonably convincing medical reason for her immunity, confirming fan speculation in the process. 10. Don't mess with Carla. Cheers is a beloved sitcom, but it had a dark side. Specifically, the situation between series regular Rhea Perlman and actor Jay Thomas, who played her on-screen husband. Perlman's character Carla was known for her tough attitude, and it turned out the actress herself shared the same qualities. When Thomas insulted her appearance in an interview, she had him thrown off the show like a drunk out of a bar. Also, the character didn't just leave. He was killed by an ice resurfacer. Cheers producers originally stated that the audience objected to Carla being married, which didn't convince fans. Their theories about a behind-the-scenes beef proved to be correct. 9. The BBC and Jimmy Savile. British DJ and host Jimmy Savile was a familiar face on BBC shows. However, a horrifying truth about him emerged in 2012. Savile, who by that time was deceased, had been abusing vulnerable people, including many children, for decades. Accusations were made that the BBC covered up the story in previous years. Inquiries and investigations carried out both internally and by police reached mixed conclusions. It's certainly true that there were missed opportunities, and some have alleged that BBC management knew about the crimes and chose to do nothing, despite long-standing rumors concerning Savile's conduct. In 2023, the BBC made a drama about the story called The Reckoning, which starred Steve Coogan as Savile. 8. Legal reps and reptiles. Did you know there's a connection between the origin stories of Marvel's Daredevil and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You learn all kinds of random stuff on this channel, right? Apparently, the chemical ooze that blinded Matt Murdock flowed into the sewers and caused the turtles to mutate. Fans of both franchises have spotted similarities, and this isn't surprising. The turtles were created by Eastman and Laird, who have acknowledged paying tribute to Daredevil while writing about Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. I mean, you have Splinter and Stick, you have the foot and the hand, yeah, no. If you're a fan of both, you've known this for a while. 7. Rwandan genocide. There's a lot of talk of fake news and the shadowy motives of the mainstream media in today's society. In the case of the Rwandan genocide, there was definitely bias against the Tutsi population. In fact, the Hutu nationalists were encouraged to attack the Tutsi by their local media. Radio Televisión Libre de Mil Colina has been identified as one of the stations involved in this. In fact, it was given the nickname of Radio Genocide. Approximately 800,000 people were killed over 100 days in 1994. 6. Deflategate. An American football team deflating balls in order to gain an advantage sounds like a wild conspiracy theory, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It's true. The deceptive deflation happened back in 2014 during the AFC Championship game. As a consequence, the New England Patriots were punished, Tom Brady was suspended, and a $1 million fine was imposed. 5. $64,000 deception. People must have really trusted their TVs back in the 50s, because the game show The $64,000 Question fooled the public into thinking contestants were providing their own answers. The shocking truth was that the game was being manipulated, with certain players encouraged to cheat. $64,000 became a big fat zero after the government became involved and the series was shut down. 4. A big bowl of gong. The Gong Show featured talented individuals performing in front of judges looking to win prizes and avoid the famous gong. Of course, there was a little more to the format than that. You also watched weird people try their luck alongside those participants with genuine talent. Theories that producers deliberately selected gong-worthy contestants were eventually confirmed. Though, was that really a surprise? If everyone who appeared on the Gong Show was talented, well, they wouldn't have much of a show. 3. Captain Planet was a plant. Or, to put it another way, the popular cartoon Eco Warrior was planted in the series as a metaphor. You see, there wasn't actually a Captain Planet. The hero you saw was, in reality, a symbol of the character's combined powers. He was more a figurehead than an action figure, you would say. The confirmation of this fan theory came from Barbara Pyle, who was the head writer on Captain Planet and the Planeteers. 2. Epstein's influence. How complicit were the media in the terrible story of Jeffrey Epstein? What did news outlets know, and what did they allegedly cover up? We received an answer to some of these questions in 2019 when ABC News journalist Amy Robach was recorded on a microphone she didn't know was live. She wanted to report on Epstein's activities back in 2015, but apparently the station pumped the brakes on the coverage. If the so-called hot mic hadn't been recording, this vital nugget of information might have been lost. 1. Lost in Purgatory. The TV series Lost was one of the most confusing shows in network history. When it ended, the story left more questions than answers. Many believe the characters were killed in the plane crash which opened the series, and that the island existed as a form of purgatory. This fan theory hasn't been confirmed by the creators, but what they did say was that the characters definitely died on the island, just not from the crash. Furthermore, some of what we watched was set in purgatory, specifically the famous flash sideways sequences. Whew, that list was pretty crazy, right? Well, if you're ready for more, how about answering my killer question? Which of these theories is a genuine conspiracy theory? Is it A, the human race will run out of milk in 2025? B, beavers were taught how to build dams by aliens? C, Paul McCartney died in 1966 and the Beatles covered it up? Or D, Taylor Swift arrived from the future and is part cyborg? Let us know your answers in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And I will catch you guys next time. Or will I? Is List 25 a conspiracy theory? Do we exist? I have no idea.